Claro, nosotros nos enteramos cuando estábamos presos en México.
We found out that the U.S. and Cuba were starting discussions to normalize the relations when we were detained in Mexico. There was a rumor that they were going to repeal the Cuban Adjustment Act. That is what allows us to stay here. We got desperate inside prison. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? As soon as they release us, we started making our way here.
Leosbani and Bienvenida Perez are part of a surge in Cuban migrants arriving to U.S. borders. A total of 481 Cuban migrants were interdicted at sea or landed in the United States. That is a 117% increase from December 2013, according to the U.S. Coast Guard.
We left the country because of economic hardship. I do not have any interest in politics.
In the first 5 days of this new year, almost 100 Cubans were stopped at sea.
I've tried it more than 20 times. I always build rafts, but I don't do it well. We hardly have any equipment. There is nothing, and the Coast Guard always gets me.
This group of migrants flew to Ecuador, since this country does not require them an entrance visa. Then they crossed 8 countries to get to the United States. It took them 2 months and defying the odds.
As soon as we got out of the prison, we had to get in a cab, walk fast, because the Zetas are preying on Cubans crossing the bridge to kidnap them and ask money from their families.
The Coast Guard says that the spike is due to recent rumors in Cuba that the U.S. was going to terminate the privileged treatment to Cuban migrants in January 15th, better known as the Cuban Adjustment Act. The law allows any Cuban who arrives on U.S. territory to remain here legally, and in a year and 1 day, they can become permanent residents and eventually citizens.
No other country of the world has that kind of special treatment. So until that changes, I would not expect the large-scale stream of migrants from Cuba to decrease significantly.
The law can only be repealed by Congress, but there is no indication that it would happen anytime soon. So for now, the only change that could happen is an improvement in living conditions on the island, which could deter some Cubans of risking their lives to come to the U.S. Nitza Soledad Perez, CCTV, Miami.